Hey everybody, it's Nick with Next Level Tech, the arcade version. I'm playing Marvel vs. Capcom with Ross from Quantum. We're gonna talk Quantum, we're gonna play games, and I think we're gonna have a little fun. So let's get this game going. All right, we got teams, we're set, we're ready to go. Ross, Quantum. So end to end, I mean, look, so you're one of the few storage vendors that's got it all, right? You've got high speed, mid speed, archive, object store, LTO, and asset management. Like, what's missing from that?
Oh, well, we certainly have a large backup practice, and backup practice that's kind of like focused at the enterprise and, enterprise IT buyers. And so, where we have a lot of use cases around backup and fast recovery, we're just seeing actually a great opportunity, especially as Dell, moves to really kind of like raise the price on data domain and some other things. We're seeing a lot of opportunity at the edge and stuff. So, great part of the portfolio that we do. I mean, of course, we got to mention tape. We just shipped i7, our Scalar i7, which is the most densest product we have in one rack, 280 or 2008 slots with about 80 petabytes.
And that's just like a single rack of
one rack.
That's so much tape.
Right.
All right, let's hit that one. Here we go again. And then you've also got a footprint into the surveillance market as well, on the enterprise IT side.
Correct, yes. So we did some acquisitions a couple of years ago and put together a pretty rich mission critical surveillance portfolio. So these aren't just simple NVRs, though we do sell those also, but it's really about a hyper converged, and when you can never lose any type of data, mission critical type of use cases. We have a great surveillance portfolio, for that, and we sell it into airports, stadiums, certainly a lot of different customer segments, industry-wise.
When we were talking earlier, you had mentioned, and this probably goes into the LTO story a little bit, this concept of forever archive. Talk about that a little bit more, what a forever archive is.
Yes.
Because I can't think of any technology that's forever, right? But this concept of what one might do forever might be, So what is that,
Yeah, no, for us, it's our view, and we're getting a lot of requirements from customers these days that want to keep their data, in some cases for certainly a very long time, but even, have talked to us about keeping it forever. And where in many cases, let's just say, right, you hydrate some data into hot memory and then, or hot storage, and then basically,
Deadpool is back, baby.
But the forever archive, becomes an area where, we think that, customers want to store this data and then rehydrate it for a lot of different analysis, enrichment over time. And, as I said, that's where their value is, right? Their differences in their data is kind of our tagline, but we see a really big opportunity around, that with our customers.
And this would probably go to, AI is one of those interesting ones because AI keeps evolving and keeps getting, better. So I assume a customer might want to scan their asset once and then maybe come back later and say, well, we got this new AI. Can we learn something different this time? Right, so now in Forever Archive, what's the architecture look like? Is it LTO? Is it object store? What's this experience?
Yeah, so for that, we certainly see object storage in front of LTO tape. And so, for something like our Scalar i7, you would certainly see like our active scale object storage in front of it. And part of that is, obviously LTO is storing the data itself, but there's this concept, as we were talking earlier, about having the being able to store the metadata with that, which is almost becoming as important as the data itself. Is just, what am I doing with this data? Why is it important to me? What are sort of dimensions or aspects, context of that data that, will help me when I pull it out, say in, a couple of years, what does it mean to me? Or in a couple of months, why is it important? What have I done with it? So, we're certainly seeing, object storage on the front of Scalar i7 as being, pretty important. So, just look,
that bat, man, that just keeps me at distance there. All right, let's go another round here.
All right.
I got to redeem myself.
I don't know, this guy with I never knew with the, what do you call it, golf club.
Yeah, no,
he could have gone golfing, I guess, but
comes
man,
out of
this guy,
nowhere.
I'm gonna pick this guy all the time from now on.
What are you most excited for in the storage industry right now?
Well, seeing a lot of opportunity for sure around just this concept of data management, right? You know, where can, to really go beyond just storage, right? We want to be a place to dump your data, but it's like, you know, now it's like this concept of, hey, how do we almost take storage and make it more interesting, right? In terms of like tying it closer to the business, to your workflows, where you index data, you catalog data, you search data, and there's this concept where there's all these other storage, call it services above storage, that I think really make data a lot more important. And as I said, you need metadata, containers like object storage to store that value. But yeah, going back to your question, I get pretty excited with that whole data lifecycle and sort of what we can do. And we also have CatDV that acts kind of on the northbound side of things, right? That does a lot of this cataloging and searching and things like that. But I think there's that value when you bring it to more than just M&E, but just not just the media asset manager, but you know, to all kinds of functions in general. I think there's a big opportunity.
Outside of capacity increases, like, because I mean, it seems like every other week, you know, Seagate or somebody else says, hey, we're now this many terabytes, we're now this many terabytes.
20,
so,
right?
Yeah, so it seems like outside of capacities, where do you see the storage industry heading? Like, where does, I mean, it's never going to end, but where does it go next?
Yeah, no, certainly performance is a big thing, right? And, you know, I know we're not necessarily there with quantum computing, but you know, everything that it's really leading to, you know, how do we almost ingest data, do something with data much faster, process it. So, you know, where we see it, where it can exist in really, really hot storage, scale out, you know, something like our Myriad product line that, you know, really was built for these next generation, you know, data management use cases. You know, I would say, you know, that performance side of things are, you know, pretty important. And of course, security, you know, things are always going to be important to the end customer, where, you know, these days, you know, your data is so important. How do you secure that data, make sure that's just in general safe and secure? And so, you know, with the vendors that I think can really reassure their customers that this data is safe, you know, will be the winners and stuff. So
Can I get past that kick-a-verse?
I know, right?
Just holds me back. So, okay, the billion-dollar buzzword on everybody's brain right now is AI. Come on, Deadpool. You're supposed to be better than that. What's your outtake on AI for storage? Because you've got AI for content creation, right? You know, generative AI for creating new assets. But where does AI come into the storage space?
Oh yeah, well certainly around. Oh man.
Finally, starting to redeem myself here. All right, we got one more round in us.
Let me just choose right, A, right?
Yep.
No, AI and storage, you know, I think they go well together. Certainly in terms of, you know, where we saw a lot of human interaction, certainly with annotating the value around storage, and, you know, whether it was classifying it or, you know, adding descriptors and things around that. But, you know, where AI can really make a difference is it starts to study the actual, the image, the video, and, you know, run a bunch of algorithms that, you know, you can start to use in terms of, you know, like annotate the data itself, right? So it becomes more of an automated thing that almost the storage, call it the data management, just handles for you in general.
You think there'll be a time when AI sort of replaces storage manager, where it's, you know, it's looking more at the analytics of what's being used and migrating data according, you know, because tiering is still a thing that I think is ultra important in the storage industry, and I think some people take it for granted. They don't really look at their tiers the way they should. And so is AI something that could be a tool to better enable tiering? All right, Dr. Doom is very disappointing to me.
For sure, right? And, you know, I think what we're seeing is, oh man, but just great opportunity in terms of like the ability for AI also to make some decisions, right? Like where does the data belong?
Yeah.
You know, especially as you start to create some policies around that, and you know, in terms of like keeping it in the most. Oh my God. What the?
I gotta.
That's that. Wow,
put
you
Storm
gotta
down.
figure out. But yes, I mean, you know, just in terms of having that policy management layer that starts to really just kind of move storage to the right tier, the right price per tier too, right? Just keeping those economics in line. And of course, you know, you need enough data in the hot tier to make sure that, you know, oh man.
That's the best part
But
about
yes,
this. Is
you can distract me as
I use just the questions as distractions. It's the only way I win.
But oh no!
Oh
yeah, I missed.
Come on.
This is for you. All right.
Okay, you've been at Quantum for what, 4 years? You said.
Yeah.
You've been there long enough now. What's that time when you said, I never thought our products would be put there or would be used like that?
Wow, a lot of different use cases or things that I've heard from customers. But you know, even most recently, some of our M&E customers that want to use CatDV in a lot of these different ways and bolt on a lot of these data management services, as we were talking about earlier. But just how do you add a lot more value to my workflows, and you know, in terms of like whether it's transcription, object detection. Some other things that we're seeing some customers get really interested in.
All right, final.
Oh,
I think I have.
you got you.
Okay, let's look at the final stats here. Wait a second.
We're just about. I think you've got me. You got.
3 to 5.
Oh, 3 to 5. All right.
Got you.
Nick's still the master.
I know. So you're seeing AI get thrown in a big way.
Into many storage use cases. And you know, as I said, that's where, you know, certainly working with our customers, you know, a lot of different areas that we've seen. I think we've seen backup in many cases, where fast recovery, and you know, there's been this focus on certainly backing up your stuff really fast, but these days even recovering that RTO, the you know, response time to kind of to backup or to recovery, that's become a bigger, let's call it a factor in a lot of our customer decisions and stuff, or conversations. But we've seen, a lot of customers start to deploy that, especially like for their VMware environments, and just how do I recover really quickly from, you know, what do you call that, ransomware, other types of attacks that you might have on the security side. And so
I think that's a really important justification, because so many people think about ransomware at, you know, maybe their desktop level, and they're trying to protect the desktop.
yeah,
But we need to be thinking about how to protect the primary storage, the secondary storage, the archive. Because the injection point is usually through the desktop. But if we can put stopgaps over here and start thinking about, you know, protecting the primaries, you know, the storage locations, and then that's, you know, a whole nother opportunity for people to engage with new storage vendors and kind of bring it all together.
all right.
I'm getting the message, and looks like I beat you on this one.
Oh man,
This was awesome.
I want a rematch.
So we'll hang out and we will give it another shot. In the meantime, Ross, thanks for being here, man. Thanks for torturing yourself with the game. This has been another Next Level Tech arcade session. We thank Ross from Quantum for being here, and we'll see you
Thanks for having me.
on the next episode.
All right.